Boy, you know you make me float. Boy, you really get me high. Ooh, I feel like going dope. Cause you serve me on a regular.
Hi, friends.
What's up?
We're Black and Curious. I am Kandron.
Hey, you all. It's Dehjai, of course.
No, not y'all.
Hey,
right.
you all. Anyway, you know what? I should have went to refresh my drink, but that's okay. So we're going to get into Miss Kandron's business today.
I know he's lying. Well, I will tell y'all that I'm having a little Spritzer. I'm having peach. What is that peach? The peach wine you put me onto down to the Joe.
We put each other on too, because I ain't bought that since. I just bought it with you.
And then I have like a splash of some, what do you call that thing? Key lime bubbling water. I feel like I'm really falling apart. Full disclosure, y'all, this is our third episode of the day, and Dehjai just dragged me in the last episode. And I think it was a light drag. It was like an unintentional drag, but like she kind of gave me a high level of what we were going to be talking about, and then wound up all like with me sharing and oversharing. So I'm a little thrown off. So that's why I have a cocktail and she doesn't. Go ahead.
Overshare. Like you just
I don't think I overshared. I just wasn't prepared to say all of what I said, but go ahead.
But you did well. I love it. Listen, when I get to like recording things, when I'm in coach mode, I'm fine. But when I'm recording things, it's like, eek! So like my coworker actually tried to record me that day. And I was like, oh my God, are you recording? Instant freeze. Because she didn't like to be shuffling. So on this here, Lucy, we didn't have a third topic for real. And I was like, oh, I got these cards over here. Let's do this. So these are one of my handy. Today is very coachy, but this is Coach Light. Okay, this is fun.
Okay, next time I'm gonna come with all the topics so I can drag you and talk about business and drag the girls about how they're committing fraud. But go ahead.
I am not committing fraud. Don't do that.
Not you. I said the girls, specifically not you, because I know you're not committing fraud because
I liked my freedoms.
And I be in your shit enough to know that you're not committing fraud. Amen. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is actually what the cards that I'm shuffling, that's Kandron so eloquently asked a few minutes ago, are a tool that I use when I'm coaching clients, and they are my therapy cards.
Yeah.
We're gonna share these.
All right.
So tell me when to stop, and then I'll pull out.
Oh my God. I hope are you answering this shit too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna leave you out here.
It's like you had me dragging my feelings up, dredging old shit up to the surface, and now you shuffling cards and gonna ask me cards out of a therapy deck. What is this?
Ooh.
Ghetto.
Spirit just came through because all that talking she was just doing. Spirit wants to know which emotions make it difficult for you to stay the course towards your goals.
Well, that's a very ghetto question. Why don't you start?
Oh shoot, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so I'll go first. The emotions that are difficult for me, being overwhelmed. I would say being overwhelmed most definitely is one. And then like, because I wouldn't even say this is an emotion. It's not a feeling. Just being overwhelmed is something that it will stunt me, and like I'll become like, I often describe in my own coaching sessions with my peers that I become the ostrich, like head in the sand. Mm-hmm. And so when I am doing that, nothing is getting done.
Okay. All right. I want to say fear. I think it's probably fear.
I would share that with you. Fear too.
The thing is, when I was a lot younger, here's what happened. When I was a lot younger, I was completely fearless because I felt like I could do anything. And then this kind of goes back to our last conversation. We'll include a link to that one. But well, if it's live. But it's like when I was younger, I thought I could do anything, so I tried anything. And when I realized that okay, that didn't work out, every time that it didn't work out, it kind of like it made me talk about things less and kind of made me smaller. And so I think I've been afraid to be embarrassed. Embarrassment is a big one for me. I don't like being embarrassed. So I think I've been afraid to be embarrassed. So I don't talk about things as much as I need to promote them for instance, or be accountable or whatever. Like I just tell two people and that's not enough to get anything moving in life, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's been like just a lot of fear and a lot of embarrassment.
Truth. I feel you. So the next one that we got is which habits have helped you through tough times, but are no longer working?
Shit.
And if you want to pass, then you can pass.
No, I'll talk about this one.
Okay.
And we just had this part of this conversation. I think habits that have helped me in the past have been overworking. And it doesn't serve me anymore because I don't have the energy for that anymore. So I don't have the energy. I'm burned out just in terms of going my whole life at breakneck pace. And so it does not serve me anymore. And again, in our previous conversation or whenever this comes up, in the order, we'll make sure we add things in.
This is like know us. So
yeah. It's like that served me at a time because when I need money, I need to hustle to get some extra money to make my bills, and that was a good space for me. Or if I was hustling to try something new, or hustling because I needed it for my spirit, because I was in a job that I didn't like, all of those things are a good time. But when you've reached a point, it's sort of like, all right, you need to either like kind of focus or just not be in that spirit anymore, like overworking yourself anymore. It's not sustainable. What about you?
In the spirit of doing things excessively, I would say overthinking.
That's a good one.
I am definitely someone who would replay conversations and experiences over and over in my mind to the point of causing just anxiety about communicating what it was that I, wanted to say, or what my needs were, or communicating in general, or having a fear that I communicated poorly. And ironically, a few years ago, I had that conversation with Kandron where I shared that with her, and she was just like, I don't think that you don't communicate clearly. I think that people just don't want to hear what you're saying.
Yeah. And also like just people don't have the space to be able to hear what you're saying. This is something we've talked about before, and we should probably actually talk about this formally, but like sort of being the therapized person before some of the other people in your life go to therapy. It's like you be having conversations and it just be like, it's troubling for them. I actually had a conversation with my mom yesterday. We'll have that conversation, we'll have this more in detail, but it's like, I'm realizing certain things and, she hasn't been in therapy, so she's still taking everything personally. But like, I'm just like, oh, I said it and I feel better. And like, I went to therapy and like, that's what happened. And that's what I learned and I'm over it. And she's like, whoa, no, I'm not over that at all.
Yeah. And those conversations are always fun, aren't they?
Yeah. But my mom is like very nice and sweet. And she's very like, she wants to do her best and feel like she tried to do her best. So she's very like sensitive when it comes to stuff like that. So I have to be mindful of that. But there's always that consciousness you have to have as a person who has been to therapy, that you have to be careful about how you approach people who have not.
Yes, and
not to say you don't say it. I'm saying you have to be maybe a little bit careful about
how you say it.
how you say it and how much you say. Like you can sometimes say the thing, but sometimes you don't have to like really go digging in the wound. Like you can just say the thing and that's sufficient.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I think that because my mom has taken a turn of like becoming the old angry person.
Oh boy.
And I love my mom, and I don't misunderstand, but you know, sister girl is mean.
Nisha's mom is hilarious. I love going by the house when I'm in town and cackling with her. Hilarious. A riot.
She just be saying it like that. Shit, I just be saying it like that too now. Now she just be looking at me like,
right.
And my mother is already one of them people that don't take no shit. You don't say things back to her. You just let her say her thing and just keep on going. And I can't do it.
It's funny. I think my mom has softened over time. She used to be like and also my mom was very young when she had me. So, you know, when you're younger, you have the edges. We all have the edges. So I witnessed her edges before they got sanded off a little bit. So she was real edgy at a time, okay? Real edgy.
Well, we love y'all.
Feisty. But, you know.
But the difference is my mother has gotten sharper over time.
Yeah, my mom
has softened. My mother has gotten sharper, okay?
My mom is a church lady, and so she's softened a little.
All right. Which self-limiting thoughts do you have that keep getting in your way? I think I covered that.
I have an answer for this one.
Go ahead.
The self-limiting thought that keeps getting in the way is that I am always in the way, or I'm a bother to people.
Wow. I didn't expect that. That took a turn.
It's something that I'm working on right now. We can have that conversation when we hang up. But
no, I mean that's deep.
Yeah, I'll explain a little bit. But like realizing, for instance, that I don't keep in contact with certain people. Like my friends, my core friends, it's like, okay, yes, I'm very good. I am a good friend. I know a lot of things about me that are not so good, but I know for a fact that I'm a good friend. And I know that all of my close friends in particular would say that I'm a good friend.
Love her.
But when it comes to like my career and other things taking off in my life, I am bad at keeping in contact with people because I'm like, well, like I'm just bothering them. Or I'm bad sometimes about asking people for like favors and stuff or things that I might need because I just feel like I'm bothering them. And so I realized recently that I'm going to have to get over that to get to the next phases of my life. And I'm going to have to keep in touch with people because your contacts are really get you where you want to go. And so I have to start being more diligent about that and do it in my way. So like, for instance, I've started thinking more about like when I see certain articles, I'm like, oh, okay, I can forward that. And at least I'll have a conversation to start with them instead of just like popping in. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this thought that like I'm just in the way for people or like people don't really want to talk to me like that has limited me.
That's good.
Thinking about this, girl.
I mean, I am, because I'm like, wow. Self-limiting thoughts that keep getting in your way. Maybe one of them is that I'm gonna be forever single.
Ooh.
Or that I'm not gonna find the partner in love that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't have to touch on that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because I feel like I talk about it in every fucking episode. We don't want to talk about that. I would say one that I could talk about is that I am constantly getting in my own way.
Mm-hmm.
And how that limits me is like, I don't know. I have this belief, but I don't know how to overcome it. Because that kind of goes back to the journey to conversation, and me having a desire to be able to surrender to whatever my journey is going to be at this stage in my life, and go through the process. And it's just like, the saying is like, just go with the flow. And I'm just like, I don't know how to do that. I just don't. All right. So we have 2 more of our little questions. And this one says, finish this sentence. When I am feeling shame, I blank.
Ooh, why don't you start with that one? Because the ghetto. You know what?
Feeling shame, I tend to like talk down to myself.
Yes.
Because shame equates to guilt. And a prime example of that right now is me trying to talk to all my friends about like how they budget their money. So I can be a fiscal responsible adult. I'm trying to fix this shine because she is shining, child. We are so silly with this one today. But yeah,
that makes sense.
I'm trying
to along the same lines.
Get my coinage together. And so, like, speaking of which, I might attack you in on that. I'm getting everybody's like, what do y'all do? How do you do it? I'm just not consistently good at like using a budget. So I don't know if that's gonna work.
I don't budget. That's the thing. I don't really budget.
I don't either, but I feel like I need to so that I can like have more
budget.
coin.
My budget is very loose. Loosey goosey. Okay, what do I do when I feel shame? I shrink. I think that's the prevailing theme. And I've always been that way. Like I just sort of shrink down into myself, or I shrink in terms of like I go cry, or I feel smaller.
Yeah.
I think we have said like, we were talking in the last episode, like how all of my friends are like, a lot taller than me and like just bigger in stature than me. And it's just like, even my one friend, she's not that tall. She's like 5'7". She lives here. We work together, and she's like, I always forget how short you are. Like you're small. And I'm like, I know. And she was like, you just don't feel that small. Like, so it's like,
you have a big personality, honey.
I'm like, I take up some space, and when I am ashamed or I feel shame, I get very 5'3", 5'2" about the situation. Like, I really
the rest of the time you walking around about 6'10".
I mean, I get very 5 feet about the situation. So that is what I do.
So I'm looking at this next question. We just answered this one because this one says, finish the sentence. When I am feeling guilt, so like literally we just answered this one too.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
We need another one. It's like that don't work. So let's give us one more. Where do you fall on your list of priorities? Oof. I'll go first.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I would say that I am number one because like it's just me, myself, and I here. And that's all I got to the
Oh, like, man, the best Beyonce song, number 1 on my list. Beyonce was saying all of the things that needed to be said.
That's all I got to the end. That's what I found out.
Yes, you really want to get to the depths of your mess when you're feeling a mess. Go listen to Me, Myself, and I.
Girl. But I would say that I put myself as the number one priority. But when I really think about it in terms of the conversation that we just had where I was talking about trying to get my finances together, I don't really do that. And you know this well, like I will take care of all of my expenses and all, and continue to pay on all this stuff because I have like looming educational debt and other things that I need to take care of because adulting is real. And so I'll do all of that and then won't take myself on vacation. And so like in May, we were having this, like I was having an existential crisis, I would say, because I was like, I don't think I have the money to go to where the Lord was telling me that I needed to go to. I still didn't go there, but I did take a trip to New Orleans.
Yes.
And that was probably a better option for me in terms of me still needing to feel safe because of like everything that had happened to me. And so shout out to my friend. I love you. I thank you. I thank your family for hosting me and creating that safety for me. I didn't realize how much I probably really needed that. And it was good to see my friend that I hadn't seen in such a very long time.
Oh, I love that. That's a good answer. Say I am number one. I can say like there have been times where maybe where I fluctuated a little bit, but when I come to, I remember that I am always number one. And there is nobody that is going to look after me the way that I will look after me.
As you should. Okay.
And so
Praise God.
I don't have any misconceptions about making myself number one. And if you have a problem with me making me number one, you should probably not be in my life. Because I am always going to make
your life, period.
I am always going to make you number one. Absolutely.
That part. All right. So to close out this little series of questions, we had some heavy questions and we had a heavy conversation prior to this. So I'm going to give us a little sacred Destiny Oracle card.
That's what I thought you were shuffling. I was like, no, we're not doing that today.
But no, these are not tarot cards. This is just like a little like positive saying or whatever.
Oh, okay, cool. No, that's what I thought you were doing when you were shuffling. I was like,
girl, we're not getting your business. Yes, I do have the tarot.
Not in my business like that in my business. Like that's an offline shit.
Yeah. All right. I was about to say, tell me when to stop, but never mind. So we got two, one for me and one for you. Which one you want?
Now, let me have card number 2.
Okay, card number 2. So you got the action card. Can y'all do that? Bam, there it is. Whatever. Let's see what Miss Action has to. Oh, look at me. I flipped right to it, right on the page. Ain't that funny? All right. This says storm clouds gathering. Have you ever been outdoors and just before the storm, you feel energized and alive and may even be a little high as if your body is being fed energy and vitality from the storm. The energy in the atmosphere is building literally, and your body can feel it. Storms are necessary to replenish and refresh the land. They can feel disruptive and dangerous and can cause damage, but without storms, the planet wouldn't be renewed or replenished. When you understand the deeper energy of storms, you can embrace the energy within your body and your life. Then you can always be poised to take action when it is called for. And then it says, the sacred landscape wants you to know a shift is coming. The time is now. Don't hesitate. Face your fear. Do it anyway. When big change is on the horizon, it's time to take action. Of course, there are times to deliberate and carefully consider your next step, but not now. Now is the time to take immediate action. Look forward with a calm, steely gaze, and then forge ahead with clarity, determination, power, and grace. Quicken your spirit by making decisions now. Even if you're not 100% certain of your decision, right now, it's better to make any choice than none at all.
I don't like that card being in my business. I don't like it.
Listen.
I didn't ask for it. You was over there shuffling. You didn't ask me permission, consent to be shuffling and telling my business on this thing.
Tell
your own business. You do next. You go. You tell your own shit.
So mine is Enlightenment. And it's like
Why you get the easy card? You get Enlightenment.
Probably not.
Mine is like action.
This is Enlightenment, and it's a boat sailing in the sky, which is interesting because if you all, I think I showed you the painting, right, that I created. My painting is a boat sailing in the night sky. It's kind of interesting. So let's see.
Well, maybe I like my card again. Go ahead.
Okay, Enlightenment. It says, our beautiful home galaxy is so large that if you traveled at the speed of light, it would take you 100,000 years to go from one end to the other. It is small compared to some galaxies. For example, the Hercules A galaxy would take 1.5 million years to cross at the speed of light. The realm of the galaxies is so vast and so wide that it is beyond human comprehension, which is why the galaxy often symbolizes great enlightenment as well as faith in forces much greater than us. All right. Okay. I hear y'all. All right. Okay. The sacred landscape wants you to know enlightenment occurs when one steps out of the confines of an ordinary definition of self and expands into a greater awareness of the self within the universe. See, you got the easy card, bitch.
I don't think that I did, but go ahead. Maybe I feel personally attacked by that card, so maybe that's what it is.
The sacred landscape goes on to say, you are now reaching into the invisible realm of spirit and connecting with what you cannot see. Forces beneath the surface are supporting you on your journey. Yeah, this card is very much for me. Okay, considering what I just said, all the stuff that we talked about. Have faith in yourself. You are so much more than you believe yourself to be. Have patience that there is a plan unfolding. We won't be emotional today. We won't keep on reading this. All right. The sky's the limit.
Cry like I cry.
Rude. The sky is the limit. This card represents enlightenment and signals that you are entering into a time of expansive transformation in a luminous and remarkable way. Trust that the changes ahead are for the greater good, for most certainly they are.
Ooh, your card dragged you to then.
I told you, bitch.
Yikes.
All right. Should I give our audience a card? Please.
Tell the girls what they need to do.
All right. So let's shuffle this and see what Spirit has for you. These are just like encouragement cards. I like to break these out every so often.
It felt like an attack. I don't know that it felt encouraging, but oh, sure.
All right. So you all got going forward, and it's a with a yellow brick road, it looked like.
Oh. That sounds lovely for you, audience. Hopefully you get attacked too.
Okay. It says grasses are one of the most abundant families of planets on Earth. I don't know what that means. From the earliest days of human history, grasses have played an important role in life. We eat grasses. Oat, barley, and wheat are the kinds of grasses that we consume. And we have thatched our roofs with it, fed our animals with it, and walked on it, had picnics on it, even made love on it. Its matrix of roots prevents erosion, and its lush, rapid growth produces volumes of oxygen. Grasses are one of the world's most important and significant food sources. Grass in pastimes has symbolized growth, productiveness, prosperity, new ideas, and fulfillment. The Sacred Tarot wants you all to know when you receive this card, fertility, productivity, love, health, abundance, and fulfillment are ahead of you. Look at them. They got the good card.
Why I can't get that card?
Things are growing and expanding in your life. Keep going forward. Sometimes it may be easy to be distracted by what's occurring around you, but this card indicates that it is important not to let anything hold you back from increasing the bounty in your life. Step up and know that your needs will be taken care of. Your life is escalating and intensifying in the best possible way and for your highest good. Y'all got
that card.
I
don't like my card no more.
So thank you for joining us on this journey to kind of get to know us a little better, a little therapization, and a little sacred destiny oracle cards.
Yes. Like, comment, and subscribe to us. Follow us everywhere, Black and Curious, and then Black, the letter, and Curious on Twitter.
Also, make sure you drop some comments down, commentary, ask questions if you must.
Yeah, did that card? How do y'all like y'all's card?
Oh, right. Yeah. How does y'all's card resonate?
You know how I feel about mine.
Okay.
All right, talk next time, friends.
Ooh, I feel like I'm a dope, 'cause you serve me